used to think the world was flat, really threw my hat into the crowd. Felt I had used up my quota of yearning. Used to look in on the children at night, the glow of their Donald Duck light, and frighten myself with the thoughts of my little ones burning. But ooh, the tide is turning. Ooh, the tide is turning. Satellites buzzing through the endless night, exclusive to moonshots and world title fights. Jesus Christ, imagine what it must be earning. Well, who is the strongest? Who is the best? Who holds the aces, the east or the west? This is the crap our children are learning. But ooh, the tide is turning. Ooh, the tide is turning. Ooh, the tide is turning. Now the satellite's confused, 'cause on Saturday night the airways were full of compassion and light, and his silicon heart warmed to the sight of 1,000,000,000 candles burning. Ooh, the tide is turning. Ooh, the tide is turning. The tide is turning, Billy. Now I'm not saying that the battle is won, but on Saturday night all those kids in the sun wrestled technology's sword from the hands of the warlords. And ooh, the tide is turning. 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 Now I'm not saying that the battle is won, but on Saturday night all those kids and the sun wrestled technology's sword from the hands of the warlords. And ooh, the tide is turning. 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 Ooh, the tide turning. Ooh, the tide is turning. The tide is turning. The tide is turning. The tide is turning.